When you think of NFL busts, you probably think of first round picks, guys that were top 10 draft picks, top 5. Today we're going to discuss Malik McDowell, the man who I believe to be the biggest bust in Seahawks draft history and his insane football career.
Hi, I'm Joel, and today I'm going to tell you about the rise, fall, resurgence, and plummet from grace that is Malik McDowell's football career. Let's get into it. In terms of Seahawk bust, most fans will point to players such as Dan McGuire, Brian Bosworth, and Aaron Curry. But many will not even think about Malik McDowell due to the fact that he was a second rounder. While the second round may not be the first round, the individuals drafted there are still considered to be at least within top 3 of their position in college football. But before we get too ahead of ourselves, we have to head back to the 2014 college football recruiting season to see where this all really began. In 2014, Rivals had McDowell rated as a 5-star recruit and the 26th overall in the nation. This man stood 6'6", while weighing 292 pounds as a high schooler. Needless to say, all the big-name schools wanted him, but the Detroit product chose Michigan State, despite his mother's strong preference of Michigan. Now, as we watch these high school clips, you can clearly see that he's in some type of class of his own. A lot of these teams don't even stand a chance against this guy. But then you sit there and you wonder to yourself, with college recruiters going crazy for this kid, maybe a little bit of a naturally defiant personality, and a boosted ego from the ability that he has, what kind of product has been created here?
What made you sign with MSU?
That's where I felt like I felt like they could get the best out of me. So,
what do you think your biggest challenge is going to be coming up this coming fall?
I don't know.
So that gets us to the real question. How did he perform when he got to college? Well,
here comes the blitz. Hackenberg has the ball batted up in the air. Malik McDowell on the carom, and it's a defensive score.
Malik went on to play in games as a true freshman and garnered second team All Big Ten in his sophomore and junior years. After his junior year, at the age of 20, Malik McDowell decided that it was time to enter into the NFL draft.
With the 35th pick in the 2017 NFL draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Malik McDowell, defensive tackle, Michigan State.
I think Malik McDowell physically, from a talent perspective, is the best interior pass rusher in this draft, just in terms of his skills. He's long, 6'6", 295 pounds. He's fast. He ran a 4.85 at almost 300 pounds. It's ridiculous. You put on the Notre Dame tape from this past year, and you say, wow. I mean, I'll take him in the top 10. You put on the tapes as they go in the 7-game losing streak, and each one starts to get worse and worse. Lewis, to me, this is all about how you manage him, because the effort is up and down and really drives you crazy.
That's exactly why they need this profile of player. This is the exact kind of place that can really take in free spirit like this and kind of shape him into what they want him to be.
With a talent like that, you should not be a second-round draft choice. You should be a top 10 pick. He was a classic underachiever midway through on until the end of the season.
So with all this hype, how did McDowell fare in the preseason, the regular season, and the playoffs, going forward into his rookie contract? The truth is, he'd never actually play at all. So if you're a guy in his position, you've just been drafted to an NFL team, 35th overall, you know you're about to get paid a whole bunch of money, and you know that your first NFL training camp is coming up. So what do you think this man goes and does? He wrecks an ATV, leaving him out for his entire rookie season. Now, in our own lives, we've seen people take all different kinds of paths when dealing with issues. this is the path this man took.
You got your license, registration, insurance on you?
You gotta have some I need your supervisor.
No, you don't. I need your license.
I need your supervisor. Get him a supervisor.
Sir.
You're not getting my license.
Have a seat in your car.
Okay, give me a supervisor.
Have a seat in your car. Sir, put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
I need your supervisor.
Go in my car. Get in my car.
Now, this incident was the nail in the coffin for Malik McDowell's career with the Seahawks. Now, you'd think maybe this would be the moment that he decided to clean things up? No. 2 months after this event, he was arrested for having a stolen car in his possession. I'm guessing he was driving a vehicle that wasn't his, and possessing stolen property, less than 2 months after this arrest. Now, prior to the altercation with the police that you just saw, the year prior in 2017, shortly after being drafted, Malik actually had a DUI and a disorderly conduct, 2 separate offenses, 2 different times, not 2 rolled up into the same incident. So within 2 years of him being drafted, he had 4 separate arrests and an ATV accident that caused him to miss his rookie year that likely could have been fully prevented. Now, in the fall of 2019, Malik pled guilty to all of his criminal charges that he was facing at the time and eventually went on to do 11 months in prison. And then, in 2020, his agent announced that he was returning to football. Now, you have to be wondering, what team would even take a chance on a guy like this? Well, there's always someone.
I mean, when you're in jail, do you think you're ever going to play football again?
Yeah, that's what I was telling all my everybody I was in there with. Like, that's what I'm working towards. Like, when I get out, I'm going back to try to play football.
Malik, did you have a choice of teams to sign? And if so, why did you end up?
No, I don't know. This Cleveland was the first team that brought me out, brought me down here, got me looked at medically and everything, cleared me for football. They was the first to do it, and that's all I had at the time, and they brought me in. So.
Wait, so you're saying that after this man was out of football for 5 years, incarcerated 11 months, arrested 4 separate times, 3 of them for alcohol, and potentially having brain damage from an ATV accident, that a team was actually interested in him? And not only were they interested in him, but he was actually able to make that team? That's nothing short of amazing. But that prompts the next question. How did he actually do? Let's watch the highlights.
Williams back in, 3rd and 10. Kelly was in the back. Oh, the pocket crumbles and down he goes. Oh, that's a big load. Malik McDowell comes through and drops the sledgehammer.
And it looks like they're able to move the line of scrimmage today. Then on 2nd down, bodies around him, and he's taken down at the 22, and another flag's coming in. That was McDowell who got to Roethlisberger.
It's a gain of 1, 2nd and 9 for Jackson, who scrambles, takes off, and is pushed out of bounds with 2 flags over at the 44-yard line.
It's like a kid chasing an ice cream cone. Once you get there, you can't eat the ice cream cone, you know?
Malik McDowell hadn't played in a game in a number of years. We've talked about him a lot. He had the third highest ranked grading for a defensive lineman, almost 83. That's Pro Football Focus grade.
I mean, listen, we're talking about a guy that hasn't played a real football game since 2016. I mean, that's not an easy thing to do. He was drafted in 2017, never even played a preseason game for Seattle, finally got on the field for the Browns. Malik McDowell, one of those guys, you know, a really low-risk, high-reward signing here. And right now, it looks like it's trending towards the reward side.
So at this point, it seems that Malik McDowell has everything together. He's got his career back on track. He's not having the same issues that he did in the past. He's staying out of cop cars and courtrooms. But wait.
And good evening. Off the top at 6 tonight, we begin with a bizarre arrest of an NFL player who was seen running naked outside of a child learning center. And when deputies arrived on that scene, the NFL player refused to be arrested.
Deputies say the man is Cleveland Browns defensive tackle, 25-year-old Malik McDowell. Staff notified deputies that McDowell was roaming in the nude around the center, which caters to children 6 months to 6 years old. The report goes on to say that when deputies arrived, McDowell cursed at and lunged at the responding officer, charged at full speed with a closed fist. In court at his bond hearing, we heard all about the injuries. McDowell's attorney telling a judge there's much more to the story.
Apparently, somebody may have slipped him something or given him something that he was unaware of, which explains some of this bizarre behavior.
The Browns saying in part, quote, "We are aware of the very concerning incident and arrest involving Malik McDowell and are in the process of gathering more information."
After seeing these clips, we can't help but be saddened, but also sickened at the same time. We also hope that Malik McDowell can get the right mental help that he needs, maybe even the right rehab procedure that he needs. Regardless of how things ended for Malik, his journey to the NFL, or his comeback to the NFL, if you'd like to call it that, is nothing short of amazing. I couldn't find anything regarding a trial for Malik, and it's currently April of 2022, or just under 3 months after the incident. But I do plan on doing some follow-up in the future. I also plan on doing a video regarding the players that could have been chosen in Malik's position and how that would have affected the Seahawks. The fact that he was out of football for 5 years and managed to become an NFL starter while coming out of jail and having never played at the professional level is astounding, and is probably not something we'll ever see again. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video. Go ahead and leave your feedback in the comments so I can produce better content in the future, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.